It's a sad afternoon here at the house today because my beloved Grand Am is out of commission for the time being. I know, I'm just so sad. I mean, so welcome to today's installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs. Thank you for joining me today. I don't even know where to begin. It started off like any other normal day. I decided to take the Grand Am to work like any other normal day. Only today, something different has happened. So, when I got to work, everything was fine, the drive was fine. However, I noticed, and I didn't really think much of it, when I was pulling into my parking spot. I was pulling into the parking spot. The power steering assist kind of got a little weird. As I was turning into the spot, it tightened up like there was no assist. That was kind of weird, I thought. So it tightened up, and even on the way back, when I was straightening the wheel, I was like, maybe I was turning it too quick. I don't know. It was weird. But I thought nothing of it. I got out, shut the car off, got out, went to work. Then lunchtime came around, and when I was getting ready to go to lunch, I got in the car, I started it up, had the air conditioner on, I put the car in drive, and I started moving out of the parking spot, and I started turning out of it, and I was like, wow, the steering still feels kind of weird. And then the battery light came on, and that kind of stopped me, and I was like, okay, alternator light, no power steering. There's one thing those two things have in common, and that's the serpentine belt. So I turned off the air conditioner, and turning the air conditioner off brought the steering back, and there's a fly in here, and the alternator light went off. But I decided to look under the hood anyway. And I didn't take any pictures of it. I wish I did. But what I had found was something had exploded all over the belts, all over the top of the hood. There was a lot of fluid in that vicinity. So the belt was slipping, I'm assuming, especially when I was trying to put assist on the steering and stuff, and the AC's under a load, and the belt was probably slippery, and it was not grasping onto the alternator, which is what really caused the light to come on. So now it's like, why? What is this? What's leaking? And it's kind of bizarre, because right now I don't know exactly what is leaking. I have an idea, but I have no idea exactly what is leaking. Like I said, I have an idea. So I'm hoping we will figure this out, because there was a mixture of the red fluid, which could either be transmission or power steering fluid, and there was also coolant. And I know for a fact there was coolant. I did take a picture later on, and there were still little speckles of coolant that had not evaporated yet. So I got it home. The drive home wasn't all that bad. I was prepared in case this thing was going to overheat. The temperature did get a little bit above the 200 degree mark. 200 on this car is pretty normal. When I got it here in the driveway, it was almost, it was between 200 and the 3/4 mark. So not necessarily out of the safe zone, but it's definitely on the higher end of the safe zone. Shouldn't usually be that high. I was prepared though, just in case we had to stop. I had the air conditioner off the entire way home. I had filled up a 2.5 gallon jug of water, just in case. And it's a really weird situation. So it's been sitting here for a few minutes. The temp is back to around normal. Now I checked the coolant in the reservoir when before I got ready to leave for work, and yes, the coolant level is down. I know there was definitely a lot more coolant in here, but it was down. I didn't put anything in it because if I don't have to actually put the water in it, I didn't want to have to do that. There's the overspray still on the top of the hood there. You can kind of see it on the back there. But you know what's weird? On the way home, there's no leaking. And I mean, when this was leaking, it was dripping from under the car even. Like I left a trail, a little trail of coolant. See the grease and stuff. Now, I said there might have been red fluid also because there was little speckles of either transmission fluid or power steering fluid. So I thought maybe the lines had blown because they are not in the best of shape. Look, there's some residue down there. You can kind of see that was all wet. That was all wet. And I got under the car. My lines are still intact, and obviously I made it home. So I think if those lines blew out, for one, I don't think they would have necessarily splattered in this direction. You can still see there's some marks there. See the run. This was all wet when I looked under here before I went to lunch. And yeah, I would have ran out of fluid, I think, on the way home. If the fitting was leaking, yeah, I can maybe see it spraying there onto the belt. I don't know. It's really weird. But getting back to the red stuff, so I thought maybe, because this kind of pinpoints something here, the fluid, I think, overfilled for some reason. And that probably contributed to the splashing of the belt. However, the fluid isn't really all that high. It's about where it should be, especially for it being hot right now. But something looks like it caused the fluid to overfill out of this cap. Could have been when I had no assist. You know? So I'm thinking that's where the power steering fluid came from, everywhere. But now what about the coolant? So, you guys remember in one of the last vlogs we talked about, I mentioned the water pump. Now, the water pump really started making some noise recently, and I'm wondering if the water pump is the culprit. Maybe the coolant kind of came out of the water pump from, you know, pressure. Maybe there might be a weep hole or something somewhere. I don't know. It's freaking weird though. So I thought driving home, you know, I was gonna see more evidence of this. Like I said, this was all, I mean, you can still see remnants of everything that was wet this morning. It's crazy. But no, I'm actually kind of surprised that I don't see anything right now. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn this car back on. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. I'm gonna stand here and watch it. I want to see if something's gonna happen. It's really bizarre that there's nothing here. And like I said, I know there's oil down there. I knew all about that. That would not be this. I mean, this was an insanely amount of something spewed all over the place this morning. So let's turn it on and see what happens. Temp is still up. Try to turn the wheel quick or something. I did have the air on. Turn the AC compressor back on. Got fans going, that's good. That's because the AC's on. Another thing that I thought of, maybe too, with the power steering thing is maybe the rack. Maybe something blew out of the rack when I was turning on that side, and the fluid obviously kind of got onto the belt and stuff. I still have assist. It feels normal. See, I'm just trying to replicate whatever I did this morning, but that's pretty much it. So with the fans going, the car is probably not really gonna get all that hot, or it might because there's drag on the engine now. But the cooling fans are on, obviously. So I'll try it both ways. We'll let it sit like this. Let's take a look to see if anything really happened. It's weird too because that water pump does not sound as noisy as it has been. You know, that's insanely weird that it's quiet now. But I don't see anything dripping. I don't see any steam. I mean, yeah, that water pump's still rattling a little bit, but it was pretty noisy the last time I actually filmed that thing. That might be from the air conditioner. Or not, that's pretty far up. Can't tell. Oh, you know what? Hold on, hold on. That is coolant. Yes, that's coolant. All right. Interesting. So where is it coming from? It can't be left over. There's no way. There's no way it's been sitting there that long. I mean, it's wet there. It could be the tank. The tank could be leaking, but that still makes no sense to me. Okay, where are we sitting at temperature-wise? How's this thing doing? She's still running good. She's in normal operating temp. Okay, awesome. Picked a real good day for this because it was 90 degrees and it's supposed to storm or something. Severe weather. Oh, who's calling me? Oh, it's the wife. Okay, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So, let's get the light on. That ran pretty far, didn't it? It's not really actively leaking now, though. That's... Hold on, what's that? Is that more coolant? Are we leaking? That might be water. That looks too clear to be coolant, so I think this is water, maybe from the AC lines. Yeah, that's water. So that's water. This is coolant for sure. It's so close up here too. Like, you can't tell me this was just a fluke. Something is leaking coolant. A lot of it. On this side, there's only so many options on this side. There's no other lines, no other hoses on this bottle. We've got these two hoses here. And we got this hose here. That is it. There's nothing else under here. This thing here, that's just an overflow. So that's not really connected to anything. It's not doing anything. I am so confused. Really quick to see how this thing's doing temperature-wise. She's sitting right where she should be. Alright, let's turn the AC off now. Ooh, you hear that? That sounds like a crappy water pump. Yeah, there's those AC lines I was talking about. They're sweating. That's just water down there. Oh, baby, I bet for sure. I bet it is the water pump. It sounds like it's got like play in it without the tension from the AC compressor. Oh, yeah. gotta be it. That's gotta be the culprit. How weird. But the AC was on when that thing... Alright, let's turn the AC back on. It stops. I don't think it would be the AC compressor making that noise. But I could just picture if the AC compressor is turned on and the clutches are engaged, then that's more tension on the belt. It's more tension on everything. So with more tension on the belt, it's probably shutting up the water pump by putting more tension on it. If that makes any sense. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I can still kind of hear it rattling a little bit, but it's very minimal. Let's turn it back off. Hey, there it is. Belt is now looser. Oh, it's not as loud now. What I need to do, I can't do it now because this thing is screaming hot. I need to get the belt off, and we need to maybe check the play in that water pump. I'm still very confused though where the coolant drips. Oh, Mom. Man, I really, really wish it would do whatever it did earlier this morning. There is nothing else leaking. The fans are still going even though the AC's off. She's still at normal temp. I'm still pretty baffled by this though. I mean, this is insane. Absolutely insane. No, nothing. Guess not. All right. Probably gonna need a belt too, because the coolant's going to deteriorate the belt, and the belt looks pretty glossy, probably from whatever happened this morning. All right, well. I'm gonna call it and say the water pump was the culprit. The noise is definitely coming from that. Like I said, this is all extremely hot now, but I guess before I should make the final call on this, we're going to get the belt off and kind of spin that thing around. But that's got to be where it's coming from. It sounds really close. The lady I bought the car from said it needed a water pump, and that was 2 years ago. It apparently was not that bad. I mean, look how much of this was leaking. Where is it not leaking now? This is just... It's so mind-boggling. Very mind-boggling. But it does need a water pump, regardless. Coolant, like I said, is lower. I'm gonna have to get new coolant probably for the replacement of this water pump, because we're gonna lose some coolant from the system. I guess that's really all that I've got for now. So we knew this was coming. I can't even be mad. because this car has been extremely amazing since I've been driving it, so I can't even be upset about it. Alright, well, I'm gonna go clean up and call it a day. We'll revisit this tomorrow when it's colder. We'll get the belt off, and we will see what it sounds like without the belt on it. And actually, while I'm here looking at this little guy here doesn't really look all that healthy anymore. He's got a weird bulge going on. That's a very soft spot in that hose. I should probably see if I can get one of them also. Yeah, that doesn't look too good. We might look into that also. Alright, so here we are, next day. The sun is out. So honestly, I'm probably not gonna go a whole lot into this today just because it's going to get really hot. And I don't feel like burning today. But right now, we're gonna pull the belt off, and I want to see exactly how much play, how much noise is in that water pump pulley. Come on, this cap is so dumb. Can't tell. It's low. It's down still. There's definitely more in there than that. I should get a new bottle, because I can't see anything, you know. There's stuff floating in there, or there's sediment in there. It could be from the old coolant, like the old stuff from the intake job maybe. Or it could be pieces of water pump, which I hope not. So I got this belt tensioner tool. I bought this a little while ago for work, and I never got to use it yet, so we're gonna use it here. Oh yeah, this is nice. Bring it out from under there. There we go. Not as much play as I was expecting for it to have. It's not making any noise right now. Is that belt off of everything? Because I might start it up. It's gonna need a belt anyway. I got some cracking going on, so. But if I can get it out of the way for now. Okay, it's out of the it's all messed up now. Let's start it up real quick. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Water leaked again. I had the car parked backwards, and we had the rain situation again. And the alternator light. Yeah, so that noise is definitely gone. Alright. Man, what is it about? It's empty now. Maybe it is the AC compressor making that noise. Interesting. Still doesn't really explain the coolant leak or anything though. I mean, unless that compressor locked up. Yeah, that's the noise. So it's the AC compressor, not the water pump. Still really bizarre though. I'll put the belt back on. It still sounds like it's coming up here though. It sounds so clear. Like if I put my ear right next to this, but then I turn the AC on and it stops. This is so weird. Let's see. No fresh leaks as of right now. Oh gosh, guys, I don't know. This is all starting to be really... It's not acting up now. There's no leaks or anything. It's so... It's just so bizarre. Alright, so I pulled up the hose for this, the overflow. And I don't think you guys can tell. Something may have come out of it. You see the mark in there? Or something could have flung up into it. And this was down there. So this would have been aimed toward the leak, like this. Or even toward the belt like that. But I wonder why, if for some reason the tank overflowed, which still makes no sense to me because the car wasn't overheating at all when this happened. It was still perfectly fine, unless I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I still think this guy looks like he's ready to go. Ooh, he's got some marks in there. Weird. We definitely have to replace this. That is a very squishy hose right there. So that thing's gonna blow out at any time. I don't see any evidence of it actually leaking. But this has to go. I seriously have no idea. I don't know which way I should be heading. So we know, I'm pretty sure, the power steering fluid reservoir overfilled a little bit from something, because there were traces of that yesterday. We had traces of coolant yesterday. We had no assist in steering, and we lost our alternator for a little bit, and that was because the belt was getting slick. So today, we turned the alternator, or the water pump by hand. Didn't seem to have any noise. We turned the AC compressor by hand. We had some noise. Noise goes away when the AC compressor is turned on. Noise comes back when AC compressor is turned off. No leaks right now of any kind. Possibility of the surge tank overflowing through the tube, which could have sprayed onto the belt, causing the belt to slip, which means lack of power steering, which means the pump could have overfilled when I was applying pressure to the system by turning the wheel. That's so bizarre, guys. Do I still change the water pump? These water pumps are known for eating themselves after a while, so this is so crazy. Well, guys, I don't know. I just went to the car wash, vacuumed up all this water because it's too hot to be dragging out the shop vac. I got no problems. She's running and acting perfectly normal. This is crazy. Now, like I said, if I had a coolant pressure tester, I could probably, pressurize the system and see if anything's leaking from anywhere. But the car, the coolant is at pressure. Right now, I don't see any steam anywhere. It's just it's a really bizarre situation, and it's even weirder that it has only happened once, just one time so far. Alright, well, I got her home. Everything seems to be normal. One last check. It's wet. I see stuff down there. Let me go get my flashlight. Now it could just be AC condensation, but alright, it might be AC. It doesn't look like it's got any green to it. AC lines are right there. So that might be all that. Doesn't look like anything was coming out of the overflow tube. That's all dry right there. That's another AC line there. I didn't think to check the heater core lines, but those are all the way over there. But it don't look like those are leaking. Those look pretty good. Yeah, this AC line here is sweating, so that's okay. I really don't know. I don't think that's changed anyway. That still looks pretty dry right there. I spilled it yesterday a little bit on top, so that's what that is. This blown up hose isn't really doing anything right now. It's not blowing anything out of it. I don't know. Like this whole situation is it's just really bizarre. And the fact that it's only happened once. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with it. Should I just let it go? I mean, if it's happened once, it's probably going to happen again. I don't know, but I do know for a fact we lost coolant. We definitely lost coolant. Engine oil still looks good. It's not in the oil. We ought to do for an oil change though. But there's no sign of any weird head gasket or intake gasket issue. She's still running that tap. Turn the AC off and I guess it's the compressor that's rattling. What I might do, just as a precaution, I might have the water pump replaced anyway, because it's probably going to need it, like the lady said. So we might do that as a precaution in the near future. I definitely have to get this hose for sure, and I might look for another coolant tank. All of this as a precaution. I don't like the fact that I can't see the coolant level. I know they all kind of get dark like that, but I'm sure I could find one, maybe even at a junkyard, with a newer tank in it that you could still kind of see through. I mean, that one might even be cracked. Maybe it's leaking where there was coolant, and now it all leaked out. Maybe I don't know. It's a very bizarre situation. All right, yeah, it's too hot out there to be doing anything car related today, guys. I might, however, if I feel up to it, I might take a stroll to the junkyard later. and walk around and look for an older GM car with that tank, and see if I can find one that's maybe newer and better. The water pump I will obviously buy brand new. That little hose, I wonder how hard it is to find that hose new. But that's what I'm doing, you know, if I feel up to it. I know this vlog has kind of been full of nonsense, and we have these occasionally from time to time. I thought for sure the water pump was the issue, because that's where it sounded like the noise was coming from. But we can clearly see with the belt off of the AC compressor, and obviously the AC compressor's off, we have the clinging noise coming from there. So I don't know what I want to do about that. I don't know if it's worth putting an AC compressor in. That means I would have to take the car like to work, have the system evacuated, then do the compressor, then put new Freon in it, refrigerant in it, and I don't know, there's a lot that kind of goes into that. Plus, it's on the bottom. I don't know how easy it is to get that compressor out. I don't know if the subframe's in the way. So I got stuff to look into, and compressors aren't cheap. So the Aztec had the same compressor, I believe, and in the Aztec it didn't work, so it was like $300 to $400 I think for a new compressor. And that system, I didn't know if it actually worked or not, if there were any other issues, but obviously I know for a fact the Grand Am has a fully functional AC system. So I mean, it could be worth putting that compressor in, but that's also a large chunk of money that I don't really want to spend right now. So I'm gonna cut this video, but we'll probably end up doing the bottle, the coolant tank, the hose, and the water pump in the near future and get it over with, just to be on the safe side. It's still really bizarre that nothing's leaking right now. I don't understand it. If you enjoyed this vlog, thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and I want to thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. In the meantime, take care.